It is not a secret for anybody that the UFC underpays fighters. Have you ever wondered why UFC fighters are still getting paid like it's 2010? Maybe Daddy Dana doesn't have enough money, right?
You get them more.
No. Holy holy fuck.
While you're watching spinning elbows and head kicks, Dana White is out here running a fight cartel. No, not literally, but kinda. We're talking monopolies, fighter control, crushed competition, and yes, 10,000 fight purses, while one floor seat chair costs 12,000. In this video, we will break down the 10 brutal reasons why the UFC operates more like a cartel than a sports league, and why that's terrifying for fighters. Number 1. The UFC pays fighters in dog food. Starting pay in the UFC, 10K to show, 10K to win. That's right, you fight in the biggest combat sports promotion on earth, and you might walk out with less than your Uber driver if you lose. Meanwhile, at UFC 306, one floor seat costs $12,000. A literal chair was worth more than a fighter's purse. What is this? Monopoly, Dana White edition? And the worst part, this has been the norm since the Brock Lesnar days. Same 50K bonus, same 10 and 10 contract. It's not just bad, it's criminally consistent. And you might say, well, why don't they just sign with someone else? Funny you ask. Number 2. The UFC bought all the other toys and burned the instructions. Back in the day, fighters had options. Pride in Japan, Strikeforce, WEC, Elite XC, even Bellator at one point. Now, all of them gone because the UFC did what billionaires do best. They bought the competition, shut it down, and left the market emptier than Paulo Costa's Twitter feed during a drug test. Pride, purchased and buried. Strikeforce, bought and absorbed. WEC, merged and forgotten. Elite XC, collapsed, scooped up, deleted from memory. Bellator, bought by PFL and still dangling on a thread. With no real rivals, the UFC doesn't have to earn talent. They own it. So if you're a fighter, you're not negotiating, you're begging. But hey, maybe someone's still out there competing, right? Let's talk Bellator. Number 3. Bellator tried to compete and got steamrolled like it owned money. Bellator was the last true other option. They had ex-UFC stars, slick production, and real names like Patricio Pitbull, Michael Page, and Douglas Lima. It wasn't the UFC, but it had bite. Until it didn't. Poor matchmaking, bad business, and even worse promotion turned it into a sinking ship with no engine. While UFC exploded during the McGregor era, Bellator was stuck throwing darts in the dark. Now, bought by PFL. And let's be honest, the PFL isn't stealing anyone's thunder yet. So what happens when UFC becomes the only real platform for legacy, fame, and money? Well, power happens. Number 4. When you control everything, you set the price of everything. The UFC is now the gatekeeper of fighting. Want to be famous? Fight in the UFC. Want to make money? Fight in the UFC. Want a shot at legacy? You guessed it, UFC. That means Dana and company don't offer deals. They set them. You're not negotiating like a football free agent. You're taking what's on the table or watching your career rot in regional promotions. They say the fight game's about merit. Nah, it's about monopoly. And if you think the pay scales with talent, well, brace yourself. Number 5. Fighter pay is a time capsule, and it's 2010 forever. It's 2025. Conor's made hundreds of millions. The UFC's on ESPN. Pay-per-views cost the same as your monthly rent. Dana's breaking gate records left and right.
The attendance tonight was 18,287. The gate was 11.5 million. UFC now holds number 1, 2, and 3 highest gate record of all time at the Kaseya Center.
And entry-level fighters still stuck at 10K to show, 10K to win. That number hasn't moved since flip phones were a thing, and if you do the math, after taxes, coaches, and managers, a losing fighter might pocket 4K. That's less than a YouTuber makes for unboxing a Pokemon card. If you're a big name or one of Dana's sugar babies, you're getting paid for sure. John Jones, Conor McGregor, Adesanya, Paddy, the UFC hands them bigger checks, as they should. They move massive numbers and bring eyeballs to the cage. But for everyone else, new guys trying to break through? Nah, not a chance. Even performance bonuses? Still 50K. Same as back when Brock Lesnar was the big deal and TikTok didn't exist. So while Dana brags about 11.5 million gates and top 3 gate records of all time, the guy opening the card is wondering if he can afford rent and a CT scan. But maybe they make up for it in sponsorships, right? Right? Oh boy. Number 6. Sponsorships? Yeah, Those are gone too. Once upon a time, fighters could wear their own sponsors on their shorts. Monster, Muscle Farm, random crypto coins, whatever. Some pulled in 5-6 figures just from sponsorships. Then came UFC's Reebok, and now Venom deals, and the hammer dropped. Now, fighters get a tiered bonus based on how many UFC fights they've had. Translation? If you're new, congrats on your $3,500 for wearing UFC branded underwear. And it gets worse. You can't wear any outside logos, even if your cousin owns a gym. Even if your hometown pizza place wants to throw you $500. The UFC keeps the deals, you get the scraps. But maybe the champions are rich, right? Let's talk pay-per-view points. Buckle up. Number 7, pay-per-view points are like cell phone data plans. Complicated and kinda trash. You think being champ gets you $2 per PP buy, right? Sell 1 million buys, $2 million in your pocket? Cute. Let's break that fantasy. 0 to 500K buys, $1 per buy. 500K to 750K, $150. Only after 750K do you get $2 per buy. That's right. Your big $1 million fight, you're walking away with 1.375 million instead of 2. And this is if you're lucky enough to even get PP points, which are usually reserved for top names only. It's like fighting for your life and getting paid like an Uber surge charge. Want to speak out? Not so fast. Number 8, if you talk, you get benched. Try going public about fighter pay, sponsor cuts, or shady contracts, and watch your fight offers mysteriously disappear.
You see number like 1.25 pay buys, and the pay-per-view is going from $60 to $80 in the past 5 years. I'm like, come on, man.
Speak out too much, you're shelved, ghosted, never heard from again. It's not just a business, it's a closed system. They can say, go fight somewhere else. Yeah? Where? If UFC owns the spotlight, leaving means going dark. It's not just control, it's enforced silence. And that silence extends to your contract too. Let's talk about what fighters actually sign. Number 9, UFC contracts are a one-way street with a toll booth. UFC contracts are long, rigid, and favor the company. Shocker. They can cut you after one loss. You can't leave even if you want to. You don't own your own image, you're locked in, often for years. And even if you win, you can't renegotiate unless they decide you're worth it. Fighters are locked in like they're on a gym membership they can't cancel. So what does this all add up to? Number 10, the UFC isn't just a fight promotion. It's a mob boss and tap-out shorts. Or should I say venom? Let's call it what it is. The UFC is the only game in town. And when you're the only game, you don't have to play fair. You just make the rules. They control the brand, the talent, the money, the exposure, the structure of the entire industry. It's not just a promotion. It's the economy of MMA. You want to fight? You fight in the UFC. You want a career? You do what you're told. Otherwise, you vanish. If you made it this far, you now understand why fighters don't just ask for more money. They're not just fighting each other. They're fighting a system built to keep them underpaid, silent, and replaceable. Think the UFC needs change? Smash that like button. Got a hot take? Drop it in the comments. And if you're a fighter watching this, we see you. Hit that subscribe button for more no-filter breakdowns of what's really going on in MMA. Because this isn't just about fights. It's about the fight behind the scenes. See you next round.